What up? What up? Thank y'all for the likes early. We appreciate it. Man, oh man. Here we go. Think everything good. Getting situated. Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Everybody get in here. Get my hydration going. Try to maintain my hydration. It's already hot, y'all. It's May. It's already hot. Amen Scout Dad, what's good? Thank y'all for the likes. Man, we got a show for y'all tonight. We got a show for y'all. Yaya, what's good, my guy? Hello, Yaya. Always representing. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Man, we in the 90s every day. We not getting a break probably till like the 26th. Um, it's crazy, but it is what it is. We deal with it every year and we just gotta keep it pushing. Yep. Just gotta keep it pushing. All right, guys. Y'all see the title? We talking about this no tax on overtime. It was proposed and looks like it finally made it through the House today. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the details, the implications, who's affected, who's not affected, and maybe clear up some misconceptions. I put out a video today, and I made it a short. You know, it was during the day today, and I was like, "Hey, tune into the live tonight. We're gonna talk about the no tax on overtime." And I got a couple comments. It's kind of funny, but a couple comments, obviously people probably on the liberal side, and I'm not even sure, but just just real negative. Hey Cass, hey baby, how you doing? Just on the negative side about the no tax on overtime. And I'm not really sure. You know what? We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Welcome everybody. Thank y'all for the likes. We got a banging show for y'all tonight. We got a banging show. Man, oh man. And look, I have to apologize to you guys. I have to apologize to the bomb squad. I'm putting myself on Front Street right now. I had to. I originally had this live scheduled for Tuesday, but I had to put it off for 2 whole days for two reasons. I'm not coming with excuses, but for two reasons. One, they've been cutting cars and we've been heavy. I've been heavy, and I'm not gonna come in here and try to start a live at 10 p.m. Central Time. I'm not gonna do that. So that was one reason. And two, my daughter graduated nursing school and she had her test and all of the festivities and all of that stuff. So, I'm giving herself a round of applause. And her birthday was this week. And so we had to make sure, we take her to dinner and, treat her real nice. So I had to put out the live for 2 days, but we still left it on deck. I actually got more information and the bill actually passed today. So we can actually speak on the bill being passed versus, oh, it's just proposed and it could pass or it could not pass. So we can speak from that point today and we're going to get to it. All right. Thank y'all for the likes. We have a lot of likes early, so I appreciate that. And we'll go ahead and get started. Bomb Squad, let's go. Let's go. Bricked Out Media. Yo, 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 we live. We live.
Break that meeting. Break that meeting.
Welcome, Bomb Squad. It's a pleasure to be before you guys. I couldn't wait to get this show started. Today was still heavy, but I got it done. Got to the crib. We got all set up and we're going to kick it. All right. So, some negative comments about the no tax on overtime, but I don't understand. I'm confused. And maybe y'all can help me out. I'm confused. And I'm going to tell you why I'm confused. No matter what your political views are, because this is not a political channel, right? We know that. But no matter what your political views are, I'm not sure who would be upset about this bill being passed. And I'm not talking about like the other stuff, like the Medicaid and all of that stuff. All I'm talking about is the no tax on overtime. And they included tips in there as well. But no tax on overtime, that's what we're talking about. I'm not sure what American or even non American will be upset at the bill being passed. And so I don't understand. I got negative comments and people with certain disdain saying that, oh, well, good luck and the dollar's going to crash and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. It's cool. Everybody going to have their opinion. It's cool. We all have one. I like it. I love it, actually. But I don't understand why the negativity. I don't understand why the negative comments, the disdain, the wishing the bad luck, and all of that stuff. I don't understand. So maybe y'all can help me understand, but I don't get it. And maybe I still have some growing to do. Maybe I could understand if I was smarter. I'm not sure, but I don't get it because even if I'm not affected, let's say I'm not affected by the new bill, you know, I'm sure it'll help somebody or some people, a group of people, but it doesn't affect me. And so if I'm not in that group being affected, then good for them. I'm not going to hate on a certain bill if it makes sense and I'm not affected. So I don't understand that. So I'm not going to read those comments because I'm not going to give those people the time of day. But I was just confused when I seen it. I'm like, huh? But then again, there was a lot of people that didn't vote for it, and that's cool, whatever. Like I said, this is not a political channel, but I was just like, I didn't understand that. And every now and then I get to stuff where I don't understand certain things, and I'll get confused, lost in the sauce, so to speak, and I'll just never get it. But I guess it's just one of those times. But we're gonna break it down because I had some conversations at work today, and many people don't really know the details, and that's why we're gonna come here tonight. We're gonna give you guys as much details as we can to tell y'all who's affected, who's not affected, and maybe some really important points that you may not know. Okay, so tune in, and thanks for tuning in. All right. One more thing before we get started. All right. One more thing. The internet is great, right? At the same time, the internet is a place where people can go no matter what age you are. You can go, you can you can post a video, you can type a comment, you can leave a post, you can post pictures, you can post videos, you can do all of that stuff, right? And so someone made a video of me. All right. So it wasn't really a video, but it was a video, but we didn't see the person making the video. They responded to a live that we did about the roadie driver. We reviewed that video and all of that good stuff. You know, we had a good conversation about it. It was great. A few days later, maybe like a week or so later, all right, so a person stepped in and felt like making a video expressing their displeasure with the way this channel handled that video and me, right? I don't have any enemies, right? And I don't make enemies because life is too great to have enemies. But I just watched the first, or I listened to the first 12 seconds of that video, and I turned it off because in the title, and I'm not even gonna give this person because it's not even worth, really showing y'all the video because it's not really good. But the title of the video, it used the word hate two times, right? In the title. So that's why I chose to listen to maybe 12, 13 seconds of it. The person accused me of being a hater, but they said that they hate me. So if I'm a hater, if I'm a hater, now you hate me, which you become a hater as well. So now I guess we're both haters, I guess. But I say all that to say this, guys. I appreciate the bomb squad and stuff like that. I push it to the side. It's not really a big deal, but I do think it's funny because this person won't show their face. And I don't get into online beef and all of that stuff. We don't have time for that because we barely have time to work and to bring y'all good content and to keep y'all updated on what's going on. We don't have time for beef, going back and forth. And like I said, I seen those comments about the no tax on overtime, and I just laugh and I'm like, okay, well, cool. We don't have time to go back and forth because I'm gonna tell you, my time is limited. I work. I'm right at around between 50 and 55 hours a week. We have the channel, and of course, we have our personal life. So we don't have time to be wasting time on people, especially people who hate, because I don't like that word. I don't hate anybody, and it's cool. This person doesn't even know me to hate me, so I thought that was funny too. But we're not gonna focus on the negativity. We're gonna see who representing the bomb squad. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? All right, let's see what we got. Yaya's in the house. What's up, Gabe? Austin, Texas in the building. Shouts out to you. Brian Farris said, I'm starting undergrad on the first for TCD. Any tips for success? Um, okay, you starting undergrad? All right, so one, Brian, I'm gonna tell you. All right, congrats, right? First of all. Two, I give you the tips for undergrad, but you probably should subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. So that way, once you finish undergrad, you can come back and you can get all the other tips, right? So for undergrad, make sure you show up on time. Make sure you're presentable. Make sure your attire is on point. You got your boots on. You clean. You smelling good. That's just me. It's not a requirement, but make sure you clean and you willing to learn. You open minded. You read the material. You study the material. You have a positive attitude. Don't go in that negative. Be willing to learn and listen more than you speak. All right, that's what I gotta say for undergrad. And focus. All right. Not everybody's going to be serious there. Not everybody really trying to do something. And it's unfortunate, but get in there and learn. And good luck. All right. So once you finish undergrad, come on back and we'll talk about it. All right. Good luck. Gabe say just got off. Hey, Gabe, I know it's hot in Austin. I know it's hot already in Austin. I know it is. Yaya say congratulations and happy birthday to the daughter. Yeah, man. Yeah, she's great. And I know everybody gonna say, hey, my kid is great. My kid is great. Look, I get it. So I'm not saying anything new. But this kid, I mean, she takes care of business. And so I have to salute her because the world stops and she studies. Everything could be going on, but she prioritized her studies over anything else, over food. And that's admirable. Because I'm not sure if I can do that, but she does. She will get her studies out of the way first, then she'll focus on food and living afterwards. It's crazy. But hey, the kid is special. All right. Amen. Scott Dad, yeah, say family comes first. Yeah, family comes first. Family comes first. And so we push it to the side, but we keep it on deck and we take care of business as soon as we can. And that's why we're here tonight, guys. So thank y'all for being here. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yaya said people who get mad about overtime, they're gonna have to pay when tax time comes. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Yeah, shouts out to Nick. Yeah, Nick said the fives and tens. Yeah, you gotta look. And like I say, like you should be already studying before undergrad. Learn those fives and tens because when it's crunch time, you might freeze up. So make sure you get your studying on before you go. And like I said, be open minded. Listen more than you speak because you always can learn more when you're listening because you can't really listen when you're talking. But pay attention. Sit in the front. I don't know what kind of seating they have, but like always be attentive when you go on a break, leave and come back early and stuff like that. Talk to people. Talk to the instructors. You know, don't be afraid to ask questions too. Ask a lot of questions. That's what I would do. Y'all ready to get into the show? Man, water, electrolytes. That's my life right now. Overkill. All right, y'all. So let's get into this first video. This video was posted a few weeks ago, and it kind of just they're talking to people who would be affected with the no tax on overtime bill. Let's get into it.
No tax on overtime. It would be a huge advantage to law enforcement across the country.
We work sometimes 100+ hours a pay period. It's a lot of time taken away from the family, so that would be pretty special.
We do work a tremendous amount of overtime right now due to our short staffing. It would be nice to have that little, I guess, a gift to us to make a little extra money.
No tax on overtime for officers is a big deal.
Police officers work a lot of overtime. They work a lot of extra duty details just to help make ends meet.
To have something like this in play would just help senior officers perhaps stay a little bit longer to help be that guidance for that department and that community, to help teach those policy and procedures that we know of, and to help with the retention.
I think that would really benefit those, especially younger cops that have younger kids and a lot of families. I think that would mean a tremendous amount.
If there was no tax on overtime, we'd be working about as hard as we currently do, but we would have that appreciation that goes along with it.
All right, so this one guy said
A new plan.
100 hours. Hold on, I'm messing up here. So this one guy said 100 hours in a pay period. 100 hours in a pay period. We capped out at 60 per week. So I mean, maybe it's a 2 week pay period, but 100 hours in a pay period, and a lot of times they have to work those many hours because they're short staffed. They need to hire people, maybe not enough people in the academy. And that video was really focused on law enforcement. I get it. I just wanted to start off with that video. But a lot of these men and women work 80, 90, 100 hours. You're looking at 60, 70 hours a week. And like it's hard. It's hard to have a family. It's a lot of hours. And so that's why I don't understand why the hate on the other end with people saying like, oh, well, y'all shouldn't get any breaks because y'all already getting overtime. I mean, working overtime, guys, is not, many people don't want to work overtime. A lot of times people have to. And so at UPS, a lot of the overtime it's like automatic. I hate to say forced, but it kind of is, right? And so you can get out of a lot of it, but for the most part, you pretty much have to work it. And not everybody wants to work overtime. So that's why I don't understand people upset. People like, oh, you should be happy just with you getting the overtime. Like, not everybody want overtime all the time. And if those people are working 100 hours in a pay period, I mean, not all of them are glad to. They know that they have to, or else jobs won't be done. The streets won't be as safe. The firefighters, the mine workers and all of that stuff, like those roles need to be filled and those hours need to be worked. And so when people get upset about oh, you should be thankful for the overtime. You get overtime. Like, well, yes and no at the same time. It's just like, why are you so upset? And so I just tell people, hey, just look in the mirror. Maybe it's you. I mean, maybe it's you. And I'm not trying to turn this into negative, but I still don't understand, and I'm having a hard time understanding the negativity that people have for the whole overtime thing. Because ultimately, yes, you have to pay taxes on it. And a lot of times you get put into a higher tax bracket. And we'll go over tax brackets here in a little bit, but it's not all peaches and cream. One, a lot of people don't want to work it, and especially not all the time. And two, you pay more in taxes. And if you work like a six punch or on the end, a lot of that is going to taxes. You know what I mean? So it's not all peaches and cream. And so we're going to talk about the details in this bill because it's not all great and it's not everybody. So a lot of people think that, oh, well, everybody who work overtime, well, first of all, everybody don't work overtime. Everybody's not offered overtime. And second of all, it's not for everybody who works overtime. Does that make sense? So we'll get into the details here. See what happened to my video. I'm over here messing up. All right, let's get into this one.
Plan on Capitol Hill aims to put more money in your pockets. Kansas Senator Roger Marshall and 2 other Republicans have introduced a bill, and it would make overtime pay tax-free. And it could deliver relief at a time when many families are feeling squeezed. 27 News Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has the details.
More hours, more money, and now maybe less tax. This group of Republican senators are backing a bill to make overtime pay tax-free.
What do they get in return when they work hard every day? They get a bigger tax bill to pay to fund this nonsense that we call federal government up here.
Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, Kansas Senator Roger Marshall, and West Virginia Senator Jim Justice are behind the push.
Putting a little extra money in their pockets to meet those week-to-week needs is a great thing as well.
Justice says the bill is about one thing.
This rewards work, and that's what it ought to be all about.
The bill would make up to $10,000 in overtime pay tax-free for individuals, $20,000 for married couples. But the benefit phases out for those making over $100,000 a year. The new proposal comes as inflation and cost of living remain top concerns for Americans.
All right, so that's key right there. I'm not sure what news outlets, what articles people have read, but they said 100,000. And so that's not most people. All right, we'll get into that. Let's keep going.
Brandon Arnold with the National Taxpayers Union wants the bill to go further.
Let's lower rates, particularly those rates affecting lower income Americans.
But he warns exempting overtime pay will reduce federal revenue.
Congress has a really tough math problem on its hands right now. And the more in the way of tax cuts they insert into this piece of legislation, the more they're going to have to find spending reductions.
Democrats haven't signed on, but the senators say the bill has the support of President Trump. Working for you in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Okay, so this video was made before it was passed. I believe before it even hit the Senate, right? This video was made. I don't know why that keeps happening. All right, so that video was made before it was even in Congress. And so it made it through the Senate first, and now it made it through the House. Now, 100,000 seems to be the cap. Individual, if you make 100,000, it phases out for you in particular. So if you're making a lot of overtime, you might be pushing towards 100,000, maybe over that. It might not be for you. And so I was having a conversation with coworkers this morning, And they were saying that, oh well, it's for everybody. Well, not really. Not really. Now, if you have a strategy in mind, let's say you're a UPS driver and you're trying to stay within the threshold in order to get the deduction. It's not an exemption, it's a deduction. There's a difference, and we'll go over that here in a minute. But if you want to stay under 100,000 in order to make sure you get that deduction for your overtime, that may be a strategy. One, to get it, and for two, to bring it down into a lower tax bracket, which we'll talk about tax brackets here in a minute. That may be a strategy for some people. So when it comes to the actual deduction itself, it's not an exemption, it's a deduction, which means that they're going to still take taxes out of your check as normal. But once you do your tax returns, right, they'll see how much you made, they'll see the overtime that you put in. And if you fall within that threshold, you'll be able to deduct it to lower your AGI, your adjusted gross income, and then you pay taxes on your AGI. Versus if it was an exemption, that means that on your check every week or every 2 weeks or every month, however you get paid, you just won't pay taxes on that amount. So it can't be that way because there's limits. And so if you make over 100,000, you pretty much don't qualify. And so the way to do that is let the year be over. And then once you do your tax return, you see, okay, well, you stayed under the threshold. You qualify for the deduction. And that's kind of how it goes. And for couples, married filing jointly, 160. If you're over 160, you don't qualify. So it's not everybody, but most people could qualify for it because they stay within that threshold. Yaya, shouts out to Yaya. See who else is in here. Say great for drivers, but terrible for part-time since the bill devalues the dollar. So I'm not sure if the bill devalues the dollar or not. I mean, that's up for debate. But, shouts out to you. But what I do know is that there's a lot of talking, debating back and forth whether this is good or not. And we won't deep and dive into the politics because it's not a political channel. But at the same time, I believe, it's a good thing. It gives people more spending power, whether they use it for good or to spend more buying stuff that they don't need. Hey, that's up to them. But I do believe that it gives people more spending power. It stimulates the economy. And when you stimulate the economy, that doesn't necessarily mean that it devalues the dollar. More money circulation doesn't necessarily mean that the dollar is devalued. It just means that more money is in circulation and more businesses can thrive because people are spending more money. I think that's the whole premise behind this idea, is to get money moving more around, more circulation of monies, and get people spending and get confident in the economy. So that's why I think one of the reasons why this was done. One of the reasons. Let's see. I think I got one more. Let's see here.
Campaign promise moves closer to reality. This is Nightside. I'm Courtney Robinson. Tonight, President Donald Trump's proposal to remove cash taxes
Thank y'all for the
tips
likes. We appreciate
passed
it.
in the Senate. It could bring a significant tax break to millions of people, including service workers right here in Tampa Bay. 10 Tampa Bay's Adure Chumba joins us live from St. Pete. And Adure, you spoke to some of those service workers tonight.
The new legislation, which unanimously passed the Senate, will allow tipped workers to deduct up to $25,000 a year in cash tips from their federal income taxes. Now, those workers have to earn under $160,000 a year, and in line with standard IRS requirements, they must report those tips to their employer. But for some folks, there's a little bit of confusion as to what exactly is exempt from the taxation.
Ask any server or bartender. We live off of tips. That's how we survive. That's how we pay our bills.
Local service say it's not clear yet what the no tax on tips plan will look like from paycheck to paycheck.
Then that would mean 20 to 25% of my income that is not going to me would start going to me.
For many workers in service industries such as servers, nail techs, beauticians, and drivers, that's significant and can make a difference.
I could use it to pay more of my bills in this inflationary economy. I could use it to save more money. I could use it for, various reasons. I could use it to invest.
The current version covers cash tips, which means not only physical, but also tips through credit cards, debit cards, checks, and electronic payment methods. Around 90 to 95% of tips come through credit cards.
I like the direction of the bill. I like the direction of anything that can help fuel the economy, and specifically for people who work in these jobs.
Some say the policy could change consumer behavior.
This could motivate a lot of people who just throw that tip on their credit card. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. We'll see.
The bill also gives certain businesses a tax break to claim credits for payroll taxes paid on tips.
Cash is king, they say, right? Maybe people will tip cash more. People are awesome. They do, love to leave cash when they have it. Not a lot of people have cash on them these days.
All right, so they're talking about tips. So pretty much the same thing as far as the overtime. And the guy talked about what he want to do with the money or what he would do with the money. So we just finished talking about that. But Marcus Smith says that excludes us. And Marcus Smith is a UPS driver. And shouts out to Marcus Smith, but not all of us. In fact, Marcus Smith, you probably will be surprised that a lot of drivers don't reach the threshold. So, I spoke with just 3 or 4 drivers just this morning, and they don't make it to 100. So, and like I said, if you want to use it as a strategy, work less or make sure you stay underneath, and that way you qualify, and you may even, depends on what other deductions you have, you may even be able to slide into that 12% tax bracket. But yeah, it's not all of us. It's a lot of people that don't work a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a buddy of mine, and he's been driving for 25, 26 years. And like, he stays around the certain amount. He doesn't really work any more than that. So he was actually surprised on how much myself, some other people make. And I'm like, but he doesn't work all the time, and he's okay with that. And so it's not everybody. Melee Pro, shouts out to Melee Pro. So when the no tax overtime cut is going to take effect, when it gets signed into law, which will probably be within the next week or so, but I do believe it's only going to be in effect until 2028, and so it's not nothing that's permanent. Marcus Smith said he averaged 2,850 hours per year. Let me see how many hours do I average. So I think I just had mine pulled up right here. Let me see. See how many hours I worked last year. So Nick JCS says, so overtime over 100K is taxed as normal. Well, I think you either qualify for the deduction or you don't. So because the overtime is going to be a portion of your total gross. And so, yeah, so I think you either qualify for it or you don't. So I think if your gross is over that amount, then you won't even qualify for the deduction. That's what I understand from it. Because your overtime is only going to be a certain percentage of that. So yeah, I don't think it's like the tax brackets. How the tax bracket is like, the amount in the 12% you get taxed at that rate, and then the amount between what the amount is in the next bracket you get taxed at that percentage. I don't think it's like the tax brackets. I think is you either qualify for the deduction or you don't. Y'all hear my daughter's cat? She must be hungry. Somebody feed her. Give her some water or something. Okay, so I got these tax brackets up here just in case y'all was wondering about the 2025 tax brackets I was mentioning. Let's see if I could pull them up here. Let me share this. All right, so these are the 2025 tax brackets. So you're filing single up to 48,000, 11 to 48,000, you're in that 12% tax bracket. And so if you are a driver or a worker in general, say like police officer or whatever, and you fall under the 100,000, and let's say you do, 65K, maybe 67, 68, you get that deduction. It's an extra deduction on top of the standard, whatever you qualify for. You might be able to slide into that 12% tax bracket. A lot of people were willing to work less to pay lower tax rates. But, even if you're able to not even slide into the 12% tax bracket, if you're able to lower or get as much under 100 as you can with the new deductions, that way you'll still end up paying lower in taxes, right? So it might be a strategy for some people. I get it. Lil Bipper said, just got here and heard the cat. Yeah, she's something else. Like when she gets when she wants food, like she wants it now. Like it's like she lets everybody know that she wants to eat now. But these are the tax brackets for 2025. So everybody who's working in this year, you're going to be affected by these tax brackets. And so this new no tax on overtime deduction that will be applied when you do your tax returns, you'll be looking at this and say like, okay, well, all right, so where do I fall and how does this help me? And so this might not mean much now, but when it's time to do your taxes next year for 2025, this is going to matter. All right. and it said, yeah, so the couples, it was 160 was the threshold. So, you can see it. I mean, if you a couple and, like say y'all both making overtime, like you might be able to do some things as far as your deductions. I want to say it's $20, 20,000 for the couple deduction. So if you fall around that 150 range, as a couple, you might be good and get some extra money in your pocket. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think I had one more. Let's see. Thank y'all for the likes. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. So who in here? I know this might be a silly question. This might be a silly question. Does anyone in here like paying taxes? Like, I know we're supposed to. I know, as a citizen of the United States, it's our duty to work and pay taxes. I get it. But do anyone in here like paying taxes? They enjoy seeing, the federal, the FICA, which a lot of people don't know who FICA is. And, do I mean, I know it's not tax. Well, it's taxes, but it's not federal withholding. But still, they take it out of your check. So, do anyone in here enjoy seeing that? Because I don't. And I get taxed out the wazoo. I'm not sure if that's even a word, but y'all know what I mean. And it's just like, yo, where's all this money going? And so, any legal bill that they come up with to where people could kind of get a tax break, like I'm all for it. Darren Jarvis says needed but don't like it. I'm thinking you're talking about taxes. Yeah, I don't like it either. But I get it, and so that's why I encourage my brothers at work and some of my sisters as well at work. If y'all can start a side hustle to offset some of this money, you get some of your tax money back. You get some more deductions because you're starting a business. I have a video on this channel talking about that legally, because I don't enjoy it. But I have had successes with not paying as much over the past few years legally. So I'm proud of that. Maybe we'll do a tax show once a month. I don't know. But you don't have to pay as much as you do. No one has to. So, but we could talk about that on a different live. And then Scout Dad said it feels like robbery. Yeah, man. Then when we go to the store, it's more tax, and then you got your property taxes. You got this tax everywhere. It's tax everywhere. We get taxed to death. Marcus Smith said, "I love paying more taxes than billionaires." You love paying more taxes than billionaires? Well, Marcus Smith, most billionaires understand the tax code, and the tax code is made for businesses. It's not made for us. The way workers work, the tax code is to tax them. And that's why businesses write off on the front end and get taxed on the back end, versus workers get taxed on the front end and then you spend whatever's left. That's the difference. And so billionaires, majority of billionaires, they have businesses, so they understand the tax code. But if more people figured out the tax code and actually um, utilize it in their favor, that would be a problem for the United States because you need workers to pay a lot of taxes. So yeah. Yep. Lil Burber said, I'm at work. I gotta go back up, enjoy the concert. I'm going to watch this again when it's all over. Yeah, man. Shouts out to you. I appreciate you here. Lil Bipper. Lil Bipper, that's a cool name too. Shouts out to you. I don't look at the pay stubs either. I just looked at one from last year because I wanted to see how many hours I worked in the whole year, but I don't like looking at the stubs either. So I like looking at, because whenever we get a raise in August, and what I just increase my 401k, and then I increase the amount of money I throw into my brokerage account. Like I don't, because me focusing on that, like I let them take as much as they can, then I'll deal with it on the back end. Like I'll figure it out. But you know, that's why when we get raises in August, like I don't do anything drastic. I just start, putting more away, and buying stuff that actually gonna try to make me some money. So um I'm not really trying to go buy no new cars or stuff like that, you know. But whoever does that, hey, more power to them. I just don't do it, you know. So Nick JCS says, so after deductions, if he falls under 100K, will I get the extra deduction as well, or because my gross before deduction is over 100K? Yeah, I don't think you would get. Yeah, I don't think you would get the no tax on overtime deduction. However, your standard deduction, you'll still get that. If I think for joint is like what, 26,000. I think for single, the uh the standard deduction is like 15,000. I think it just went up 1,000. So I think it's like 15,000 for the standard deduction, and it's 26,000, 27,000. Oh no, scratch that. It's 32,000 for couple, for married filing jointly standard deduction, and for individuals it's 15,000. Yeah, it's 32,000. Yeah, so after deductions, if you fall under 100K, but if you start off over 100K, I don't think you'll qualify for the no tax on overtime. But of course, you'll still get the standard deduction. So um you'll still be in that 22% tax bracket. What's up, Dooley the Bully from Sacktown? Shouts out to you. Always supporting. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. He said, what's Sacramento about to lay off? Man, in my building, we haven't, like, there's not a whole bunch of layoffs, but it's a whole bunch of cutting routes. And so, well, people end up not working, but the people that's working, we getting killed, man. Let's see what Nick said. Top rate driver working 40 hours is 94K and some change. The big beautiful nothing is just that. Then, well, um, it still affects a lot of people, and I'm okay with it not affecting me. I mean, because like I don't qualify, but that's not going to stop me from saying, hey, I think it's a good thing for the people who do qualify. So that's just what it is. I am selfish at times. You know, I admit that, but this is good for the people who qualify for it. And if that's not me, I mean, that's okay. So for all those people that qualify to get that extra deduction, hey, do something with it. Take that extra money, you know, make some more money with it, invest it, stuff like that. And so, you know, me personally, I'm not going to say it's nothing just because I don't qualify. I'm here to inform people who may be qualified and to give them information and the details because, I mean, it's pretty new. So a lot of people don't know the details. Dooley the Bully said the union can't do nothing for us too. Yeah, that sucks over there with the layoffs, man. I mean, if they're laying off, I mean, like nobody could pull volume out of the air. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's that's very unfortunate, man. I hate to see that. So I don't know. I mean, if they're already at the stage of laying off at that rate, I'm not sure if that could be reversed in that particular area. Rob Dunn says, so you get taxed at top pay. What does that mean? Is that a question? I'm not understanding if that's a question or not. Dooley said they about to lay off people up to 10 years and all the hard work they put in these years. Yeah, man. Yeah, see the thing is that, when you retire, when people retire, yeah, you put all those years in and you get rewarded for it. Um Many times like you don't get rewarded enough but um like all the years you work, you get paid for the years you work, right? And then you hope to retire and get something on the back end, for however many years that you can get it for. And so that's the key. But you know, the way the system is, if you don't make it to retirement, you get paid for the years in which you work and you pretty much don't get a whole lot after that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and that's just what the workforce is. You get paid for what you do and hoping to retire one day and reap some benefits after you working, but it doesn't always work out like that. And you hate to see that. So this is year 11 for me at UPS, and if I was to be a casualty, um I mean, never say never. um I understand that, I put in 11 years, and if it's time, it's time, and nothing I can do. I'm not sure what retirement would look like monetarily, but you know, yeah, it is sad though. Okay. Darren Jarvis said, I heard certain management is now being offered buyouts on UPSers. Yeah, so last year when the 12,000 got laid off last year, it was early. It's early last year. Yeah, I saw the light. What's up? Shouts out to you, man. Welcome to the live. Um, yeah, people were offered buyouts. And in fact, I was able to see some of the buyout paperwork, you know what I mean? From, some of the people that took buyouts. And so, um, a lot of the people got good deals. It's not something that you want to do, but if they're going to offer it to you, you might want to take it. And so they were offered buyouts. And so it was in a lot of those people's best interest to take it. And it was like anywhere between, 6 to 8 months of pay. And I mean, give you a little time to find something else, but it's never a situation you want to be in. But if it's on the table, what the vibes is, you might want to take it. And so I'm not surprised right now if they're offering that this year. I'm not surprised that they're offering buyouts. It just kind of helps the process along because if you don't take a buyout, if they're offering it to you, you don't take it. Then they say, okay, well, you out of here, but there's no buyout on the table. So if you get offered one, those people should strongly consider taking those buyouts, or getting that 6 month of pay, and find something else right away, and then so that way you're not stuck unemployed. And then again, it might take you a while to find something. So, but at least you'll get something to go. It's not the best situation, but I mean, it could be worse. Yeah, Marcus, always have a plan B. Yeah, so Marcus Smith said always try to have a plan B. I say always have a plan B, because you never really know. You never really know. Yeah, I have very, like, I love my job. I love it. I love the grind. I love almost everything about it, except for like a couple things, but it's not really big deals. But I love my job. I love doing what I do. And so, if I were to be a casualty, like, I'll be heartbroken, but you know, I'll pivot. It will suck, but I'll be all right. I'll be all right. But yeah, so always have a plan B. Like have something ready to go. And then, like, if it's a plan B and you can do the plan B at the same time working your job now, I say do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, do it now. Just because, like, you never really know what that plan B, if it's a side hustle or if it's something that you always wanted to do, like a passion or something like that, start it on a small scale and do it. It might turn into something that, I mean, you never really know. But having it to the side as a backup, that's cool. But I say do it now, and do it, just do it on the side, because, why not? We don't have anything else to do. Yeah, find time to do it, and do it at a small scale, and then that you never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen. Like, I know guys that have done stuff on the side, and that income end up taking the place of their work income, and they gladly just rolled off into the sunset. And these are just regular people. So, it could happen to you. Just regular people. They just decided to, on the weekends or on the days they're not working, and decided to do other things, and, you know, end up working for them. Yeah, so Rob Dunn, I'm not sure. You said, so you get taxed at top pay. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what that means, if that's a question or not. So, I mean, I don't have a problem responding, but I don't know what that means. So if you could clarify, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah, Dooley, yeah, man. I love my job, man. You don't you don't hear people around a job saying that. And I'm one of them ones where, like, I don't care. Like, I talk to my group every day. I don't care. Like, I tell anybody. Like, even the most negative driver or person at work, I tell them, like, hey, I love my job. And I don't really care what you think about me loving my job. You might hate it. That's cool. I'm not gonna hate it with you, because it's not really that deep for me to hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marcus Smith said he loved his job too. He literally cried when he thought he didn't have it anymore. Okay, so Marcus got a little mini vacay recently, but Marcus is back. Marcus is back. You know. Uh, so Marcus, you almost cried. Yeah. If I was to catch the pink slip, um, I might tear up. Yeah, yeah, I'll probably tear up. But man, there's so many opportunities out there though. There's so many opportunities. So, you know, if anybody lose their job, like I get it. Like it's sad, it's disappointing, you're not feeling well, but at the same time, it's so many opportunities in the world, like, and that's why I say, like, y'all work y'all plan B. Like work it right now, just in case. You never know. You never know. Yeah, I have a couple buddies around the job. They're doing great things outside of UPS. And we motivate each other. Um, you know, we toss around ideas. We say, hey, what you got going on? Oh man, that's dope. Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah, I need to try to do something like that too. Or I need to try to, you know what I mean? So we encourage one another, and it's just like, yeah, it would be a sad day if we was to all get it, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, well, cool. Maybe that's a sign, for me to do something different, and then bam, I already got it going. But yeah, we encourage each other. And that's why I don't understand, and I open the live with this. I don't understand why people just automatically just go to the negative and hate. Like, I don't get it. But for people who's on the internet, which that's most of us, right? We see it all the time, and like it's so much opportunity. It's so much good that's out there, and it's just like I don't understand why people waste their time. And another reason why, like, I didn't respond to the person that made a video about me, because like I don't have time. Like I don't have time. So now I have to sit up here and make a video, or not. But I'm just saying, take time, make a video. I got time for that. I have enough time to leave my house, go run my route, right? Run back home, right? Chill with my family, love on them, get something to eat. Make a video, jump on a live, do some research. Like I don't, before you know it, I have to go to sleep and do it all over again. So like I don't have time to, oh well, this is negative. Let me address it. And also, so how do you address negativity? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you be like extra nice? I'm not saying I don't know how, but I'm just saying like it's all stupid, And I don't even like using that word, but it just doesn't make sense. I don't have time for that. So if I took time and responded to BS, that means I take time away from the bomb squad. I take time away from doing research. Okay, so now I gotta do, a 45-minute live instead of an hour live. And I'm like, it just takes time away from the good stuff. So I don't have time. So I hope that person know that I don't have time for them. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Marcus Smith said a walk of shame out the door is what got him. Oh man, so you dropped a tear because you was on a walk of shame? Is a walk of shame real? Is it real, or is there something in our head? Like, are people really like looking like, oh yeah, look at Marcus over there? Or is it something in Marcus's head? Is there really a walk of shame? Because you'll be back, but is it really a walk of shame? I saw the light say Marcus Smith had the March of Victory when he came back. Okay, yeah, 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 I like that. But is the walk of shame, is it really, I don't know, is it really that bad? Like I never had it, like I never traveled on a walk of shame before. So let me know how it is. Rob Dunn said, if UPS was to ever shut down, will you tell us in advance? Advance, yeah, like I make sure y'all informed. Yeah, I make sure y'all informed. Yeah. I'm not gonna get on here. I mean, because that's news. That's news. Now, as far as UPS going to shutdown mode, I think they're very, 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 very far from that. Just because I look at the financials, like I don't just look, y'all. Tell y'all something, right? Um, like I don't just get on here and BS, right? Like I can, but I don't because I feel like if I have y'all attention, which I definitely appreciate the Bomb Squad's attention, when I have y'all attention, I feel like it has to be valuable. It has to be valuable. And so when I get on here, I don't just talk BS. I try to give y'all real information. I give y'all my opinion for the most part. Um, I get your opinion, but I have to do the research behind the scenes because I feel like I owe it to you guys in order to give y'all the right information and do the research because there's a lot of people online, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just speaking in general. There's a lot of people online that may just turn the camera on and BS. And I get it. Like it's entertaining, it's cool, you know. But at the same time, are they offering any type of value? And I feel like I have to offer value or else I'm not even turning this light on. And so I do research behind the scenes because I have to know what's going on because if I don't know what's going on, then I'm just wasting your time, which I'm not going to do that. Now, the company is going through changes right now. The whole industry is, but at the same time, is very far from shutdown mode. And why I know this because I look at financials. And UPS isn't the only company I look at financials, but I look at financials, I see the balance sheet, I see the debt, I see the cash flow, I see all of that. And so they are making cuts. I get it. It's painful in times. A lot of people don't understand it. Most people do understand it, but they're making cuts, but the financials are still pretty strong. I have seen other companies with way more debt and less cash flow that are still surviving. So I look at the financials, and so if I start seeing stuff that's not looking right, you know what I mean? I have no problem whatsoever because this is all public information. I have no problem whatsoever letting you guys know, like, look, this is going the wrong way. Let's talk about it. So whenever I see something that's abnormal, I'll bring it to you guys. So if y'all want me to dig deeper into the financials, we can. Because I mean I have it right here. You know what I'm saying? But we can actually dedicate maybe 1-2 shows a month and say, hey, we'll talk about financials when it comes to UPS. I mean, if that'll make people feel better, we could do that. We can do it. But to answer your question, Rob, as soon as I know something, I will let you guys know because I feel like I owe it to you guys to let y'all know what's going on. And so yes, is the answer. Dooley said UPS is turning AI. If you're a driver, you're good for a minute. Yeah, so AI is revolutionary, I guess you can say. And so AI is gonna learn what you teach it. Um, but yeah, somebody did ask me a few weeks ago, like, hey, do you think that like how soon do you say that drivers like AI robots are gonna be delivering packages to people's door? I'm like, maybe eventually, but not in this lifetime. Yeah, I think eventually, but not in this lifetime. Because you would have to have the truck would have to be, you know, a self-driving vehicle. Um, And then of course you'll have to have the self-driving, or you have to have the robot, to operate, do the functions that humans do right now, in a wider range. So we reviewed these robots in the warehouse at I want to say it was Happy Return warehouse, where they was taking the packages and moving it from station to station in the warehouse. That's like beginner level, not beginner, but y'all know what I mean. And so I guess over the years, over the decades, you'll get more robots that look more like humans. I know Tesla's coming out with robots that look more like humans that can do humanly functions. And so, yeah, maybe eventually, but not in this lifetime, I don't think. But AI is definitely revolutionary, and I don't think it's gonna stop. I think it's gonna get more and more sophisticated, and you know. So if anybody here have kids, whether they're young kids or maybe like teenagers or whatever, or even if you were like 20, 21, 22, you know, you know, technology and like the whole AI stuff, there's gonna be a lot of jobs there. There's gonna be a lot of jobs there. So you're gonna need people to create the robots and all of that stuff, program the robots and all of that good stuff. Marcus Smith said he want to see a robot carrying a mattress 3 flights of stairs. Yeah, but they're gonna have to lubricate the knees before they go up. Get the little oil pump and lubricate the knees for the. Yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, and it's gonna be a lot of liability. So that robot malfunctions, just like humans, right? Robot malfunctions and start breaking stuff, start running into people, or walking into people, or they go to ring the doorbell and they accidentally punch through the wall and put a hole in the wall. It's all kind of crazy stuff that could happen. But yeah, once you open that Pandora's box, you open up to everything else. And so, just like all the good, you also have to take all of the liabilities with, hey, throw the humans to the side. We want the robots. Yeah. Now, making a hamburger on the line, doing a basket of fries, stuff like that. That's all just repetitious moves, like in a small area. That's easy when it comes to that. But if you saying like, hey, we're gonna send you out here, we're gonna plug you up to the extended battery, we're gonna send you out here, we want you to deliver these 300 stops, and we need you back by midnight. Um, that's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. I saw the light says, yeah, then you reach home and behind the door is your family that thinks you're at work taking care of business, and you realize the news you got to break, and boom, that's the hardest part. Yeah, man. He also said humans will always be needed. Pre-trips. How can a truck check itself? You're right about that. The trailers that leak. You're right about that. Yo, I seen this video. Wait, I have it on the next slide, but I seen this video where UPS has some yard mules that the shifters drive to move the trailers around the yard that was automated. And I watched it hooked up to a trailer. I don't know. Did you guys see this video? Basically, the yard mule hooked up to a trailer, just like by itself. It made the connections and everything, the air connections, electric connections. It was all like automated. It had this little deal where it was actually pretty cool. I was like, whoa. Saw that about a month ago. Maybe if I find it, I'll bring it up on the next if y'all haven't seen it yet. We'll show it. We'll show it. Thank y'all for all the likes. We appreciate all the love. So nobody ever answered the question. Well, where everybody said no, they don't like paying taxes, but like I don't mind paying taxes. It's my duty, but I just don't like to pay as much as I do pay. So I just put things in place to where I get some of my money back. And so, I mean, that's all we really could do. That's all we really could do. But humans will always be needed. Yes, that's a fact, because at the worst, you're going to need somebody to program the robots and to build them and to do maintenance on them and all of that stuff. Marcus Smith said, I'm waiting for the robot floor cleaner at Sam's Club to hit me. Oh man, he trying to get a claim. Marcus Smith, you gonna lay on the floor and let it run over your arm? Oh man. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, y'all want to live? Y'all want to live on Saturday? Yo, I'm contemplating on, and I brought this up to my wife today. I'm contemplating on, we might do a 10-hour live, but we'll probably do it sometime in June though, because I'm about to go on vacation here in a couple weeks. But maybe sometime in June we'll do a 10-hour live. Maybe do it like on a Saturday. We'll just start in the morning. We'll just go all day. We'll just kick it all day. But let me know if y'all. I mean, look, if y'all gotta take naps in between, that's cool too, because you know, we're gonna try it out and see, because these streamers online doing 24, 36-hour streams be crazy. But we'll see what happens. Man, Marcus Smith trying to get paid. Look, hey Marcus Smith, I'm not mad at the side hustle claim. I'm not mad at that, big dog. The duelist said, heard July 14th is our last day. Hopefully, but not if I am still tap in. Man, so you included in the group? Man, can y'all relocate? Are they moving to work? Or are they just laying people off from that building? Or are they shutting the building down and moving? Man, that's crazy. All right, dude, are you in the biggest building in the in Sacktown or what? I saw the light say, I'll see what the collective agreement is as regards to breaks in the 10-hour live streams. Like I started high. I said I'll do a 24-hour, but I said, you know what? I need to do? I need to just pipe down a little bit and start off small, do 10-hour. We could do 10. I could do 10. Well, yeah, I could do 10 on a Saturday. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy. Yeah, day in the life, man. My day in the life video, y'all. I got like half the footage. I still needed more footage though, because I don't like putting up halfway stuff. And so like I got the footage recorded, but once I put it together, I was like, this is not complete enough. I just didn't feel like it was a full day, or it wasn't like enough. So that's why that's why it's not out. So I might have to start that one over. Yeah, I don't like it. I've learned to, like, if I don't love the content, I'm okay with that. I'll still put it out. If I like the content, I'll still put it out. But if it's anything less than like, I'm like, I don't know. It needs to be better. And I understand, like, everything's not gonna be great, but at the same time, like, I still put it out. And people who I talk to who just starting the channels, I say, look, you're never gonna love everything. If you think it's decent, just put it out. And then just watch it. And if you don't, just learn from it and then just do better next time. But just put it out anyways. Don't let it sit on the shelf. But like, I have to listen to myself at the same time. So I have some stuff. Well, that day in the life video is not what I want it to be. I don't think it's thorough enough, so I need to redo it. Yeah, so like if I put that out, I feel like I let y'all down. But the footage I did get was really good. So I might, I don't know. If I put it out, I'm gonna have to let you guys know that hey, this is a half a day, half a day in the life. Don't even sound right. Half a day in the life. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Dooley said, but the closing twilight in the night. In the Twilight Sword in auto in 2026. What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. Yeah, so I think in our building they closed out the day sword. At least the day sword. Yeah, I think the day sword moved to a different building. So we've seen that happen in my building, but it's not a whole bunch of layoffs, but yeah, man. Oh, what's a turning sword? I've never heard that term. What is that? Oh, they turning the sword to auto in 2026. Okay. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. Closing Twilight and Night Sword? Man. Tough times. Tough times. We got to hold strong. Dooley, man, look. Hit me up, big dog. Hit me up. Hit me up. Bricked@everyday@gmail.com. Hit me up, Dooley. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right, guys. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for all the likes. Everybody who came through, we appreciate it. And like I said, I'm apologize again for this live being 2 days late. But, we had to take care of business on the family front. But I appreciate all the support you guys show me. And I do not take it for granted. All right. So we'll see y'all on the next live. It'll be before Sunday. We're probably going to pop in on Saturday. Yeah, we'll do Saturday. I like Saturday. All right, see you on the next live. Bricked Out Media, Bomb Squad. We'll see you. Bricked Out Media, y'all. We out of here.